Carl, before we get to the football, actually, I just wanted to ask you a question because following you on Twitter, quite a bit of the stuff I've seen you tweeting is about Twitch and about gaming, and this is a world I know little about.
Yeah.
So can you just kind of fill me in a bit as to what this is all about and what it is that you do?
It's basically just a streaming platform where I sort of stream my sort of screen, my gameplay, with a webcam over the top of obviously me there. It's kind of just a good way to interact with fans after I finish training and that, and something I do, which is a hobby of mine anyway. So it's a good, like I say, a good way just to speak to the fans and kind of keep me entertained as well.
What is it you're playing?
I play a lot of different things. Call of Duty, Football Manager. So there's a lot of different things I play, like, so wide variety.
How are you at Football Manager?
How am I?
Yeah.
I'm not too bad, to be fair. I'm doing one with county at the minute, so we're going alright. I think about 20 games in, only been beat once, topped by about 10 points. So
That's not bad. Is gaming the new golf then? Because you know the old trope, the old cliche of footballers going off and playing golf in the afternoons. Is gaming the new golf in that way?
Probably, yeah. Actually, that's probably a good way to put it. I think golf's more for the summer and gaming's for the winter when it's a little bit dark and gloomy, a bit drizzly and stuff. So I like to have a mix of both when I can.
So I take it the fact that you do all this, are you the best in the squad at this, or do you get kind of beaten by your team?
To be fair, I don't really play with many of the boys in the squad. I know Jaden's pretty good. I've played with him a few times. He's a good player. A few of the other boys aren't great, so.
Well, look, thank you for filling that in.
No problem.
This is a world I know very little about. Let's talk about the football, shall we? It seems like lately you've kind of got back into form again. I wonder how significant that Barnet win was, and the fact that you got 6 goals in that game as well. That seems to have kick-started things. Does it feel like that for you as well?
I think it's just the momentum has started again. Obviously, we spoke about it previously where we were getting games called off left, right and centre, and we sort of had won the last 7 games, but it didn't feel like that. And now having a run of games, I think we're starting to build that feeling and momentum and a good positive vibe in the squad.
Yeah, and also you mentioned squad as well rather than team, and that's really significant, isn't it? Because Eli Sam's come out of nowhere and got his place in the team. Aaron Naman as well at the weekend. How pleasing is that those two, so instrumental as they were as well at the weekend, and Aaron Naman setting up 2 of the goals, that these are players who weren't necessarily in the team before but are showing their worth now.
Yeah, definitely. Like with the goal we've got of still trying to win the league, it's important that everyone's coming in and playing their part. I mean, Eli's come in and done great. He's been working hard all season, sort of behind the scenes, and not many people have seen what he's been doing in training. He's been training really well. He's come in and done the job. Same with Aaron. He's come in on Saturday, had 2 assists, and played a pivotal role in the game. So I think if we want to kick on and go and push to win the league, it's important that everyone's chipping in where they can and scoring goals and stuff. And it's good to see the lads who haven't played as much coming in and making an impact.
Eli Sanders looks a completely different player. You know, we've seen him in little bits when he's come on, and now that he's playing out wide, and you see the goal he scored, especially the one against Halifax, but also the second he scored against Barnet, outstanding goals. Have you seen that improvement in training? Have you seen that happen gradually, or has it been as sudden for you as it has for spectators?
He's always been at that level in training. It's just, I think, a case of the classic of run of games. He's had a run of games and I think he's sort of feeling like he's cemented that left wing spot, so he might feel there's a little bit less pressure on him, so he can kind of just go out and enjoy himself, which is what he's doing, and it's proven good for us at the moment. I mean, he could have had a good few more goals as well. He's hit the post a couple of times, and he's always looking a threat when he's in the ball. And a lot of time when he gets the ball back to goal, he creates something out of nothing, or he gets us out of a sticky situation and gets us up the pitch. So. He's been doing this in training all season. It's nothing new to the boys. We all know what he's about, what he's got. It's just good that he's been given the opportunity and he's taken it with both hands.
At the end of a long season, when the fixtures, inevitably kind of start to rack up, is this where having a big, strong squad really kind of pays off? You look at the league table now and you start to see those teams, don't you, begin to sort of assert themselves. Your Wrexhams and Chesterfields up near the top, Stockport. Is this where you think that squad sort of comes into play, really?
Yeah, I think it's important now. I think Saturday, Tuesday will suit us, the way we play and the sort of the depth we've got in the squad and the quality. I think it'll suit us massively. We can rotate without having to worry too much about not going to be able to get a result. You've seen we made a lot of changes at Halifax in the trophy. we went there and we made it look pretty easy, to be honest. So I think, like you say, Saturday, Tuesday and having a big squad will suit us and should hopefully help us string a few more wins together.
It's a fascinating picture at the top of the National League table, isn't it? The team at the top keeps switching, very much unlike last year where it was Torquay for half the season, Sutton for the second. It keeps switching, it's so tight.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like you say, from us to top, I think there's a lot of teams that can still win it, and I still believe that we can go on and win it. Do you know what I mean? We've got 2 games in hand. That leaves us 6 points behind Stockport. We beat them, that's only 3 points. So it's a 1-game swing then, and then if you look at the run-ins between us and Stockport, a lot of people would say we've got the easier run-in, where we're sort of expected to probably win the last 7 or 8, we hope. So for me, looking at that, I think we're still in with a shout. We just need to make sure we keep sort of picking up points this month, as it's a massive month. We're playing everyone who's around us or above us, so I think this March is going to be the pivotal month where we'll see where we're at the end of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's never really an easy time to go to Chesterfield, of course, and it's a bit of a derby, and they tend to be rip-roaring games as well between Notts and Chesterfield. But I do just wonder, you obviously had a change of manager, and the results have slipped a little bit of late. You're in a bit of good form. Is this a better time than maybe it could have been for you to be going there?
I think so. I think this is probably the best time we could have asked for to go there. I think obviously they're in transition at the moment with a new manager. He's obviously trying to put his philosophy and his way of playing onto Chesterfield. So, like you say, they're in transition at the moment, and we're kind of picking up in form. So, I think it'll be a good game tomorrow, and hopefully we can do the same as Saturday and have a good dominant away performance and come out with a result.
What sort of thing are you expecting from that game? You played Halifax the other week, another one of the teams up against you, and there's so much riding on those games, isn't there? At this stage of the season, especially, the teams are up against each other, both going for the same thing.
Like you say, they're in transition. They're changing over from managers and the way they're playing, so it's probably a little bit unpredictable as what they're going to do. They could press us high, they could sit off, they could play 3 at the back, they could play 4 at the back. So. It's just we're just trying to prepare for all scenarios and making sure if we go and put our game onto them, I don't think they'll be able to cope with that. So I think it's down to us and what we do tomorrow rather than thinking about them.
Nice one, Carl. Thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you.
I'll stop there. That's spot on.
Recording stopped.
We should have Lee.
I'm not sure when the Lee's ever in. Is he? Here he is. Right on cue.
You're on mute though, Lee, from what I can see, Carl.
Kyle, I just wanted to ask you, it's interesting you just spoke about being still in the race for the title. I mean, obviously you were up there with Torquay last season. What are the challenges when you are up there in trying to maintain that first position, and what do you think will be going through Stockport's minds right now with the league being so tightly congested as it is?
I think with how they've been doing recently, I think they'll feel comfortable at the moment. I think if that gap starts to close a little bit, I think they might start looking over their shoulder. I think it's good that we're still in and around it, but we're not sort of on the radar yet. Sometimes it's good coming from nowhere and sort of surprising them. Do you know what I mean? Our aim is to try and get that gap as close as possible to when we play them in a couple of weeks, so that if we beat them, it's a real big 6-pointer and we can put some real pressure on them. But like you say, when you're top, everything looks all pretty, and then a couple of results and it's maybe panic stations. So I don't think they've had that little blip since the new manager's come in. So between now and the end of the season, I think they'll get that. And looking at the last 6 games, they've got some real tough fixtures. So it might come late. So we might have to just keep plugging away, and then sort of might come down to the last game of the season. Who knows?
As the captain, have you been talking to the players about that? Let's say, lads, just stay in the race. Just stay in there. Just keep bubbling away nicely.
I say what I need to when it's possible, but Gaffer keeps saying just don't look at the table, lads. Keep one game at a time. But it's hard myself. I'm always looking at the table and seeing what's happening around us, and I think we just need to get that real belief that we can still do it. Do you know what I mean? I think once lads see the sort of running they have and the running we have, and it's all to play for. Still, there's 16 games left. There's a lot of games to play. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if there's 5 games left and we're 6 points away. There's a lot of games to play where both teams could slip up. Do you know what I mean? It could someone else could come through the pack and take us all by surprise as well. So between 7th and 1st, I think it's still anyone's game really.
I was going to say, the manager says not to look at the table, but I imagine that as soon as you get back on the bus, you're straight on the results page and looking at the table and then looking at the fixtures the following week and seeing who's going where. Is that right?
Me personally, yeah, that's what I do. I'm used to doing that. I'm used to having a look and sort of understand the table and what we sort of need to do in different games coming up. So for me, I sort of, maybe it's a bad habit from the gaffer's point of view, but for me it's just about winning games now. Between now and the end of the season, like I say, if you win 16 out of 16, you probably win the league. So that's got to be the aim, I think.
Does that affect your mentality though when you're looking at the table? Does it add any kind of pressure? Because I can kind of understand where he's coming from, because he's saying, well, don't look at it because you're going to put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Just concentrate on the next game. But at the same time, you want to know how far you are off your objectives, though, don't you? It's a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah, I think it's different for different individuals. For me, I like to have a target and know what I'm aiming for. And obviously with what Gaffer's saying, I think Gaffer kind of eliminates all the pressure that's put onto us. If we don't look at the table, then we just need to keep winning games, and if we keep winning games, then who knows where we'll end up being. So I think it's good what the Gaffer's saying and how he wants us to approach it. But like I said, it's always different for different people. You know what I mean? Some people check the table, some people don't. Some people just go and play on a Saturday and pick up the 3 points and move on to the next one. So like I say, it's going to be an interesting end of the season and an exciting one, definitely.
How much are you relishing your time at Notts County, and particularly as captain? I mean, first season, spearheading a promotion charge, things are going pretty well, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like I say, we probably would like to be a little bit higher on the table, but the way we play and how we have been playing of recent it makes my job easy. Do you know what I mean? I think we've conceded 1 shot on target in 3 games. So for me as a defender, I haven't had a lot to do. A lot of it's been on the ball and trying to supply the midfielders and forwards, which is something I enjoy doing as well. So the lads have made it easy the last few games. We just need to keep that sort of form up and keep going, and then hopefully at the end of the season I can have my hands on the trophy.